Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Marian White, and with me is my co-host, Ken Bialo. Ken, who served as mayor in the village of Larchmont for 4 years and trustee on the Larchmont Village Board for 11. Thank you for all those unpaid years, Ken.
You're very welcome, Marian.
It's a lot of service.
Are you going to try and get under the radar again tonight?
Yes.
So Marian spent 2 terms, 4 years on the village board as a trustee, and then 23 years as the chair of the Republican
Or was
Party.
it 50? I forget.
50 years as the chair of the Republican Party until its untimely death in 2006.
But we keep it going in the spirit of this show. Look at it that way.
We do.
This is the Phoenix
Yes,
that exists.
the Phoenix,
So,
yes, Phoenix.
Since the early 90s, the Republicans are here in spirit for a little
No,
longer.
no, we were here for real,
Yes.
and we left.
Well, but we're here still manning the fort.
Yes, this is really boring TV. Let's get on with it.
Well, we have such a happy show today
We
because we have
do.
so many people to congratulate. And the first, as you pointed out, has to be Michael
Yes.
Chaparelli.
Yes.
Everyone knows Michael, who has ever had anyone play sports in the village of Larchmont.
Yes, or who has gone to the high school, or is anybody going to the high school? He is the premier baseball coach and our hockey coach as well. And he was inducted into the Westchester Sports Hall of Fame by County Executive Robert P. Astorino, a Republican, in October.
That's fantastic.
This is really quite a record, but he's won 2 state championships in baseball within the last, 4, 5, 6 years, and lots of hockey sectionals and lots of baseball sectionals. He's really is remarkable. And it said here in the article, he was League Coach of the Year in the baseball season 16 times and 5 times for ice hockey. And he's the first coach at Mamaroneck High School to ever have over 1,000 wins in anything.
That is amazing.
So this is outstanding, and I know Mike, and everybody who's played Little League knows Mike and knows his kids, and anybody whose kids have played baseball or hockey knows him and his kids, and I know him from there, and he's a great guy, and congratulations to Mike. It's a great honor, and we're very happy for him.
Well, we're just so lucky to have him in the community.
You bet.
Think of what he's done for our youth.
You bet.
It's wonderful.
Countless. How many countless is that?
That's
Hours.
plenty.
Many hours. Many hours.
More than you spent on your volunteer mayor and trustee.
More hours than anybody can imagine. He did a great job.
Well, then we need to
Done.
congratulate Norman Rosenblum and Lou Santoro
Yes,
for winning.
yes,
Republicans that won in the election that was November 3rd.
in the village of Mamaroneck.
And then you said...
Well, Norman is the mayor, reelected.
Yes.
This must be his 3rd or 4th term,
Right.
reelected in the village of Mamaroneck. And Mr. Santoro, I'm not sure how many terms this is for him, but he certainly was reelected. That's good enough for the moment. So that's great.
Well, there's always
Congratulations.
something happening in the village of Mamaroneck, it seems. So it's especially congratulations to them.
Yes,
And then
very interesting place.
the Westchester County Republicans
Yes.
improved their numbers.
Yes. So what was it? It wasn't long ago, sometime in the middle of these past 8 awful years in Washington, that the Republicans on the Westchester County Legislature were outnumbered 12 Democrats to 5 Republicans. And with 3 Republican victories, particularly in this election this past Tuesday, it is now 9 Democrats to 8 Republicans, which is a very respectable showing. And with the bipartisan group of Democrats who comes over and votes with the Republicans in the county legislature, there is now a majority of Republicans and bipartisan people of 11 to 6. Which is, I would say, trounce-worthy. That's trounce-worthy.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. It really is.
Well, because it's, it's a shame. You said that, weren't you saying that it was in the village of Larchmont and where in the town of Mamaroneck?
Yeah.
You can't find a Republican
No,
anywhere,
No.
at least not that's elected. It's
No.
just very sad.
yes.
So it's really terrific that at a higher level, people are figuring out how to get along and
Well, not just
pass
at a higher
stuff.
level, in all places but Mamaroneck town and Larchmont, in all places. So that's just a problem that we have. It's
Oh, okay.
nasty. But in terms of the county legislature, there's now a strong presence of both parties, which is probably a good thing.
Yes, absolutely.
And let them haggle it out, and let's hear about what goes on there. We have a Republican county executive, Rob Astorino, and he's into this is year 2 of his second term. I think that's right.
Right.
Year 2. So let's see what you guys can do. So far, Mr. Astorino has kept his promises not to raise county taxes. And he didn't do it in the way they did it in New Rochelle. Noam Bramson, the mayor, who, by the way, gets our congratulations for being reelected, managed to keep taxes, the tax increases to a modestly high level by switching the garbage collection from a part of the city budget and therefore part of the tax revenue need into a private fee that you pay the city to pick up your garbage. It's called a fee. It's not called a tax. So that's how.
But it still is billed in the same way?
Of course. It's just,
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. It just, come on, grow up. If you got to raise taxes, either face up to it or make cuts. How trivial, really. We're going to collect your garbage, and we're going to charge you a fee, which is probably just a little more than you were paying in taxes for the same collection. But we switched the name. It's not a tax, it's a fee. Anyway, that's where we are in the county board. Valerie and I spent today's entire
but we
show.
also have to congratulate Catherine Parker.
Yes, she was reelected from our district, which is district number, 7. She had a good majority in district number 7. She works hard.
Oh,
But
she sent out a lot of emails at the end.
She
saying
sent out
that
a lot of
she was
emails.
An underdog.
Yes, she was an underdog. Wasn't that sad? Just because Susan Watson, who was running on the Republican line, pointed out that Catherine Parker was in favor of the housing mandates from Washington, D.C., and in favor of increasing taxes. And somehow, Catherine Parker thought that made her an underdog. Would that it did.
Yes.
But Catherine is very energetic. She's certainly dedicated to environmental issues, and that's great. But today, Valerie and I spent an hour on the radio, on our show, discussing the advantages of going back to the old Board of Supervisors to run the county as a legislative body instead of the county legislature. And what we were pointing out, and I must say, this was the liveliest show we had in a long time. I had 10 callers. You can't handle 10 callers in an hour. It just, because if you want to have a conversation with somebody, it doesn't work. But the nub of the conversation was when it was the Board of Supervisors, which was ruled unconstitutional because it wasn't one man, one vote. In other words, some supervisors had towns of 20,000 and other supervisors had towns of 2,000. And each of them had a vote on the Board of Supervisors. If those had just been apportioned, right, to give the 20,000 person, 10 votes and the other person 1 vote, then in 2,000 person knots, everybody would have had essentially 1 vote. And so the court said, no, you can't do that. And the powers that be in the mid-'70s decided that they would do a county legislature instead of a Board of Supervisors reformed. So what we wound up with is another layer of government that does things that nobody knows about, much less cares about. You couldn't pick out Catherine Parker on the street, I bet you. You could pick out George Latimer when he was on the county legislature.
Right. But that's because he's everywhere.
Well, he is everywhere. But unknown people do unknown things with an unknown agenda.
Right.
And here's a perfect example of why the agendas get confused. Sheila Marcotte was running in District 10. Hana Just Michael was running against her. That district crosses the top of New Rochelle and takes up most of Eastchester.
Okay.
Now, if we were back in the old Board of Supervisors days, which had town supervisors plus mayors of the cities, that was it, plus the county executive.
Not mayors of villages?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope, just town supervisors and mayors of cities. And if we had this in the old days, people would vote for, Sheila would vote for the person running from Eastchester, the supervisor of Eastchester, in a local Eastchester race.
Right.
And the supervisor's attention would be on what goes on in Eastchester. And it wouldn't be on what goes on in this unknown place called the county legislature, where nobody follows anything that's going on. It's a $2 billion budget. Everybody has a press aide. Everybody has a typing assistants. They have lawyers, Democrat lawyers, Republican lawyers. It's just if you think about it, it's just an incredible waste of money. So anyway, in the old days, the supervisor of the town of Eastchester would represent Eastchester's interests.
Right.
And the mayor of the city of New Rochelle would represent New Rochelle's interest. Here you have one person from Eastchester running against one person from New Rochelle, and it makes no sense. It's one legislative district. What's the legislative district's voice? Is it Eastchester or is it New Rochelle? It makes no sense. That's a point of illogic in the way that it operates. It has nothing to do with the practical realities, in my mind, of just throwing money out there for people who want to be in politics and aren't at the state level yet and don't want to run on a municipal basis.
So it's a training area.
Yeah, well, it's a training area or not, but I mean, it's a band that we all pay for.
Right.
In Vermont, there are no counties. There are no people, but there are no counties. In Connecticut, which has a lot of people, there are no counties. Either government comes out of the states, or it comes state government, or it comes out of the municipalities.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh yeah, you don't have all this stuff, and it's ridiculous. It chews up money and it creates issues that don't exist.
Because they feel they have to do something.
Well, of course, if somebody elects you and are prepared to pay you $70,000 a year to sit on 2 committees and go to meetings on Monday night for 2 hours, right? You got to come up with something, and particularly if you want to go somewhere, you really got to come up with something. So you got to create stuff to do. Let's make sure that all babies under the age of 12, when they get into the bathtub, have helmets on and shoulder pads. Isn't that the stuff that they do? I mean, it's mind-boggling, the nonsense that comes out of there. They have nothing else to do. So get rid of them and go back to people who actually know municipal government and who are committed to municipal government and who are elected by focusing on municipal government and not by creating airy-fairy stuff to talk about that has no meaning.
Now,
spending $100 million of our money in the process.
one small good thing came out of Westchester County, just so you know. Remember how we were talking about the deer hunt
Yes.
that Marian and Rye were going to do?
Yes.
And just the...
You were complaining about that because you thought that
Well, I
wouldn't
thought
be
they're going to
sensible
come
and
and
unsafe.
shoot me. The deer in my backyard. I thought that was terrible, and it sounded rather disorganized. I mean, they were going to make sure the people knew how to shoot, but, you know, they were having them shoot in a place, they were going to shoot in the morning, and then it's a place where regular people come after that. You know, I mean, it sounded very unsafe. But Westchester County officials stopped that because they said that the municipalities have to submit a plan that has to be approved.
Safety. Probably also environmentally. Well, but that's somewhere in the executive branch that did that. That wasn't, the legislature. Legislature doesn't vote on stuff like that.
Right, okay. Well, it's the county, Westchester County part of
But
government.
in the olden days, even if there was a board of supervisors, the county executive and the staff would be in a position to deal with the issues that needed to be
there
dealt
still
with.
would be a county executive?
Oh, of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
your county executive. Absolutely. You have a county executive and his or her staff.
Okay.
And then you had the supervisors.
Oh, okay.
So the supervisors were elected and reelected.
Okay, so stuff got done.
Of
There is
course it got
some
done.
stuff that has to be
Well,
done at that level.
The state law provides for it. But I'm sorry if I wasn't clear on that. I just assumed everybody knew. The Board of Supervisors did all of the things that the county legislature does now, except the stupid things. It passed the budget. It administered the police department and the parkways and the county parks. I'm not sure about the county airport in those days or about the county college. But the point was that those people came because they were experts in their municipalities and they represented the interests of their municipalities. That's where they were focused. They weren't focused on trying to come up with something to make a lot of noise and get headlines. Of course they were busy. They were working. They weren't hanging around. There's a huge difference, and it costs us a lot of money, and it costs us a lot of aggravation, because these people need things to do, and they make it up as they go along.
Right.
So, you know, I think that if they were all experts in the area, they would do what Mr. Carvin wanted to do with the town of Rye, which is after he was elected supervisor of the town of Rye, he decided the only thing the town of Rye did was to run 2 parks. And he ran on a platform that he would disband the town. And when he tried to do that, he ran into a political firestorm, and then he stopped running. He just said, this is ridiculous. This thing does nothing. I'm sure there were people whose cousins got jobs in the DPW. They were working in the parks. You know, who knows how that worked out. But you know, this being Westchester, everybody has cousins everywhere.
Well, you could somehow transfer the cousins to something
But
else.
it's just astounding. The town does nothing,
Yeah.
and they couldn't muster the political support to say, "Let's go out of business. We don't do anything. Why don't we just quit?" That's the problem. That is the problem right there in that county legislature, and I don't care who's on it: Republicans, Democrats, Independents,
Right.
Communists,
Well, they probably
Conservatives.
get medical benefits and pensions and all sorts of things.
I don't know. That's a good thing. We should look into that.
Okay, let's start a committee.
All right, committee to look into the county legislature.
Oh, we have another positive bit of news. The Chico's is coming to Larchmont, where the Guitar Center was. And it's a family business, I believe, right?
Yes.
A food store.
Do you know the names of all of the Chicos who are in this picture?
No, they're all wearing blue.
Joe Sr., John Sr., Joe Jr., John Jr., and Chris. And there they are. Looks like a family business, huh?
Well, haven't we been hoping that some kind of place like that would come? Going back, remember, we hoped they might come when...
When Grand Union went out of business
Yes.
and they closed their doors, we were
Right.
hunting around for somebody to come in there, and the preferred idea was a food market, but a high-end food market.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever was solicited, and it might have even been that the Chicos looked at the space and said that there's nothing there. It's not big enough to be efficient. The Guitar Center was a pretty big space, right?
Oh,
And then
it's
they made it
huge.
even larger, right? They brought it forward to the street.
Oh, okay. That's
Right,
what
that's
they're
what that
doing
construction
now?
is.
That's what the mess is?
Yeah, and there's a lot of parking there.
Yes.
And so these guys made the decision to go in there, which I think it should be great. Now we have to continue to go to the Materia
Absolutely.
because it's our local store and has been for whatever it is, 40 years. But
They
this
have
may
to-
be some competition, and we'll just have to split the business.
Well, I can easily go to both of those.
When you run in the morning, can you like run past this and then run past Materia and get stuff? No.
And then I'd have to carry it home. That's the problem.
Right.
I could bring a stroller.
Yes,
I can push
you
the
could bring a
stroller with
stroller.
my
That's
stuff.
So congratulations and welcome. Yeah.
Yes, that'll be fun.
Right there on Palmer Avenue.
So I know you have some good stories about global warming.
Well, I don't want to talk about global warming. I want to talk about Furniture Share House.
Oh, I'm sorry. Of course.
Where's your notes?
It's there, and we got down here.
Oh, man.
November 18th is an amazing event that's going on. It's the Business Council of Westchester is sponsoring Dancing with the Rising Stars, and it's all to benefit Furniture Share House.
Tez.
It's amazing.
Tez.
I mean, just the...
Can you tell us more?
No, that's all I know.
Oh,
So please
man.
fill us in.
All right.
Because you've even met some of the rising stars.
I have, because there was a kickoff cocktail party. I think would be
Okay.
the best way to describe it. Last week, Tuesday or Wednesday. And the dancers were bartending, which I thought was fun.
Were they any good at
That's
bartending?
bartending. You know, I drink scotch. You know.
No problem. Just fill it.
And I met this person who's one of the co-hosts, Jamie Johnson, and she seemed very energetic. And the whole thing seems to be pretty cool. But here's what it is. At the White Plains Performing Arts Center, which, you may not know this, is at City Place in White Plains, which is kind of backs up on Target. You know, if you go down to the end of Mamaroneck Avenue and make a right, and then make your first right, that takes you into a parking lot
Okay.
for Target. The parking lot's on the left, Target's on the right. And if I remember correctly, the City Place White Plains Performing Arts Center's on the 3rd floor. Park in the City Center Municipal Lot, that's the thing behind. Cocktails 5:30 to 6:30, which should lubricate everybody's sense of music and dance. Program at 7.
Maybe a little more contributions.
Well, I don't know whether the proceeds of any of the cocktail activity goes to Furniture Share House. I wouldn't bet on that. But
Okay, but the
you
tickets.
can help Furniture Share House as follows. The tickets are $50, and you can register for them online at thebcw.org. And some portion of what you donate goes to defray their costs, and some portion goes to Furniture Share House for support. And if you know any of the people who are dancing, and I will go through that in 1 second, you can vote for them online even before the performance.
Before seeing how they're doing.
Before seeing, yeah, exactly right. Before seeing how wonderful they are on the dance floor, you can vote for them, and your vote costs $20. And again, part of that goes to defray the Business Council's costs, and part of it goes to Furniture Share House. And last year, apparently, in their event, they were very, by our standards, with Furniture Share House standards, which is if you raise a little bit of money, it looks like a lot to us, right? They did very, very well for the charity last year, and I've forgotten the name of that. I shouldn't
So
have.
the Rising Stars is an annual event.
The
and then
Rising
they
Stars,
choose
yes.
a charity.
Yes.
What a
They
great
choose a
idea.
charity, and then they promote the Rising Stars. Now look, this is great because they have the dancers. Really, this is phenomenal. They have dancers from Arthur Murray, Tarrytown Fred Astaire,
Oh,
Eddie Mendez of the Greenwich Ballroom, Donna Clark of On My Toes Dance Academy, and Arthur Murray Dance Studio of White Plains. So the
how
dancers,
fun.
boys, men and women, boys and girls, come from these various dance studios, and I'm sure that they have been practicing because nobody wants to be silly. Right? The judges are Marcia Gordon, who is very well known and is of the Business Council of Westchester, and then, I don't know this person, J.R. Martinez, Kurt Kannemeyer, Jerry McKinstry, and Andrew Castellano. And these are people in businesses that are members of the Business Council, which has thousands of members across Westchester. So, this is a really great opportunity, A, to have a little fun,
yes.
right? B, to raise a little money, I don't know how much,
Do some
for the
good.
Furniture Share House so you can do some good. And C, to meet some of these people and actually see the performances live, which I got to believe is just an enormous amount of fun. And there's a whole bunch of sponsors. When you go onto the website, you see people, there's a group that sponsors the tango. Isn't that cool? Westchester Bank, CBRE, and Verizon. And then there's a group that sponsors the Foxtrot, which is, like, it looks like Geiger, Stern, Real Estate Team of Houlihan Lawrence, Durrani Reynolds, VCast, I don't know what that is, and Waldner's Furniture Technology Service, I don't know what that is. Anyway,
So it seems like there'll be tangos and foxtrots.
that's my guess.
Okay.
Probably 2 dances for each of these 5 couples.
Okay.
I mean, this could be, it could be a lot of
Should
fun.
be a lot. No,
yeah,
I think it should be an
It
awful
should be
lot
a
of
lot of
fun.
fun. I'm sure the
Just
audience,
so much energy.
yeah, well, I'm sure the audience is just going to be laughing up a storm, is what I
Well,
can
you'll
say.
have to report on it for our
I
next
will
show.
report if it's, if I recover and I can report on it the next show.
Are you going to dance too?
No, I hope there's not even a thought that anybody in the audience would attempt the things that these people can do. This is overhead lifts and all fancy stuff. So this could be really cool.
Oh, no, it's going to be very cool. So congratulations to the amazing executive director, Catherine Bialo.
Of Furniture Share House.
Yes.
How about congratulations to the Business Council of Westchester and it's Dancing with the Rising Stars. This is, and oh, we forgot to mention when it was. It's November 18th, next Wednesday. Is that right? Next Wednesday?
And mention the website again.
Okay, the website, if you want to register for tickets or you want to cast a vote and pay money, the website is the thebcw.org, thebcw.org, basically the Westchester Business Council. No, the Business Council of Westchester.org, thebcw.org. So that is going to be a pretty funny deal.
Well, just so long as Kate and you don't have to dance.
She could dance. I can't do
yeah.
that. Yeah, I can't do that.
So we have about 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yes.
What would you like to talk about? What can I tell you
yes,
about this just
I
in
would
case?
love
This
to
is
hear
for
about
next
that.
year.
Okay.
This is off the website.
Okay.
Pumpkin peril. Federal website's jack-o'-lantern warning cites climate change.
Huh?
There is a good reason to be frightened of those jack-o'-lanterns on porches across America this week, according to the federal government. This is the United States government. Pumpkins, according to the Department of Energy, contribute to global warming because, damn it, like other vegetables, they decompose.
Oh,
Shocking.
they do, because as I run along, I step into them.
And do you know who is the decomposer in those events? The little squirrels that come along and eat up the They eat them up and they
Yeah.
spill the seeds and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I think
Mess.
squirrels are the problem. I don't think pumpkins are the problem. All right. With the passing of Halloween, millions of pounds of pumpkins have turned from seasonal decorations into trash, destined for landfills. And when you think of Halloween this year, think of turning waste into energy, but not to throw out your pumpkins, because if you do, they will contribute to global warming. The United States government says so. It must be true.
So we have to keep the pumpkins?
Forever. Put them in your freezer.
They're sort
You
of
can't
large.
you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up.
Do you think
This-
that's a spoof, maybe?
This is the government in action. Well, let's see who signed this. No, this can't be. This is according to Larry. Nope, I got the wrong guy. That's it. I got nothing else to say.
Okay, well, that's not quite true. I know you want to join me in thanking the talent behind
Yes.
the cameras.
Pumpkins, be careful of your pumpkins.
We wouldn't be here without them.
That's true.
Please watch our next great show. It's our annual Christmas hat show. And I have my favorite hat,
Yes.
and I think you have your favorite
We didn't
hat.
do the law. We didn't do the local law.
well,
can't
next
think of everything.
time.
All right, next time.
Can't get everything in.
All right. Okay. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, yes?
Thank you. Yes.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving to everybody out there and to our supportive crew, who refers to us as the non-talent. And we wish
Behind
you all
our backs.
we wish you all a great holiday.